been learning about value investing, finance, just regular investment for a while now, but you don't know where to go next. You're getting confused about the vast amount of information on the internet. You don't want to waste your time on crap information. You want good information and reliable information. In this series of videos on value investing and finance education, you will find those answers to those questions and much more. My name is Jason Rivera. Welcome to Value Investing and Finance Education. Here in last week's free training Friday video, I talked about being careful and wary of intangible assets and goodwill on the balance sheet, and I illustrated with Kraft Heinz what you need to look for, why it's important, how it affects margin of safety, how it affects valuation of the company, how it affects the actual stock market price of the company, all those things. If you want to watch that video, go back and watch that video because I'm going to reference that video quite a bit in this one, and it should be linked below below to the side left, wherever in this post, or below this video, wherever you're watching this. So there's a flip side to that as well. So if a company writes down massive amount of value, $16.6 billion in total so far this year in for Kraft Heinz, which has just cratered the stock price from a high of about, was it $48 a share, $38 a share, $48 a share, to, as of this recording, about $27 a share. There's a flip side to that. Does this mean Kraft Heinz is undervalued now? Let's find out. Okay, I'll share my screen with you again. Alrighty, there it is. Okay, so as of right now, and I can do a quick valuation of this and show you exactly what I would do to figure out if this is potentially an undervalued company. I put potentially in quotations there because these valuations I'm about to show you are just one sign the company may be undervalued. For this, you need financials. Okay, you need the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. Let's see if they're in positive cash flow or not. Sorry, again, they redid their, if you don't watch the last video, Morningstar just redid their data feed, and they added a lot of stuff, moved a lot of stuff. So I'm struggling to find what I'm looking for here. Okay, let's get back to that. Okay. So I'm not going to go through that right now. Okay, so let's just do a quick EV to EBIT relative valuation. So to do that, you need stock price, or the market cap, sorry. As of this writing, and again, this is changing as I'm doing this video because they again just announced today that they're writing off another $1.2 billion. So let's do 34 billion minus cash of, again, they don't have the most recent data, so this won't be exactly right. Let's see, should I go to the financials instead? It might not be out yet. Oh, yep. Kraft delay second quarter earnings filings 5 hours ago. So, let's see. proxy filings. They notified today that they would release their second quarterly report late. Let's see if they put any information in here or not. Did not. Okay, so let's go with these numbers, which should be just these numbers over here. So that's the best we have right now, unfortunately. Okay, so minus cash. So minus, and these numbers are in billions, remember? Oop, doesn't let me select that anymore. So 130 plus debt. So no short-term debt, it doesn't look like. Long-term debt, ouch. So 30 minus capital leases minus, I would normally subtract this, but it would be after reading the financials, so I knew exactly what it was. So I'm not going to do that now. So, oops, I forgot, I did the wrong thing. I subtracted debt again. So was it 34 billion? That's to say that did not look right. Was it 1130? Yeah, 11 plus plus 30. Okay, so their enterprise value as of right now, and again, normally you would subtract preferred stock and minority interest from here. I don't see, on a quick look, I don't see either of those. So we don't have to worry about that. But, so their market, or their enterprise value is $63.64 billion. Their enterprise value as of right now is almost double their market cap. So by this estimate alone, I can tell you that the company is going to be look massively overvalued. But let's make sure by looking at its operating income and free cash flow. Operating income. So 5.7. So actually it's not massively overvalued on that case. It's about 11. I look for any number under 8 when calculating enterprise value to EBIT or free cash flow. I look for any number under 8, so it's not massively undervalued. But in that case, however, it's not undervalued either. It's probably about fairly valued in my estimation, but you have to remember most of their enterprise value is made up of $31 billion in debt, long-term debt and capital leases. That's leaves you no margin of safety. And again, remember, plus they will probably still have to write some of that amount down on the balance sheet as well, like we talked about in the last video. So let's go back to the cash flow and try to find the final number, or do they not list out the final number anymore? Just in a period. Okay, so They used to have a a tab down here that talked specifically pre-cash flow, so it made it easy. This does not. So, but in last quarter, last year? Okay, and these are still, okay. So, these are still, looks like in the last quarter they had negative cash flow. So we're not even going to do that because the pre-cash flow is negative. You can't do this. So, number of 11, again, not bad. Normally I'd put that company on my watch list if it was in that kind of range, kind of 8 to 15 range. But again, this company has no margin of safety because of its enormous amount of debt on the balance sheet. Especially, well, just here's another way to think about it. The current market cap is $33 billion, and they have almost $31 billion in debt just on the balance sheet. As we talked about in the last video, again, watch it for reference below. When you subtract goodwill and intangible assets, Kraft Heinz actually has a negative book value, negative balance sheet value. And I talked about this in the last video, so make sure to watch that. So this company is not undervalued, especially when you consider the lack of margin of safety between cash. I think they had about $1 billion in cash versus $31 billion in debt. There's no margin of safety here. This company is still not undervalued based on my early estimates. Maybe on an intrinsic valuation basis it would be, but there is just zero margin of safety here for me to even consider this as a potential investment, unless the company were just to completely restructure and just the stock was just completely going to tank. Maybe in that situation it would be, but as of right now, it's still not investable for me on this preliminary basis. And I hope this has helped you. These last two videos have helped you. Depending on what else I find looking around Kraft Heinz's financials, I may make another video on this. I may not, but this is an interesting situation. I thought would be a cool case study, mini case study on, and I hope you enjoyed it. If this is the last part, if not, I'll see you in the next video and on the next Free Trading Friday. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.